time for a Buckeye Breakdown, joined here in studio by Tim May, 97.1 The Fan. You know, Tim, let's start with Julian Sayin, and 19-year-old kid.
Yep.
And makes his seventh start, 3 times on the road in the last month. We saw what he did in the opener against Texas. We're watching this kid grow up. This guy is now in the Heisman hunt, isn't he?
Oh, I mean, he may be among the top 3-4 front runners this week when all the experts are polled, so to speak. It'll be interesting what the odds are. But no, I was talking about this with somebody before the game. I mean, this is a game where he had a chance to put up some big numbers because you had a feeling that Ohio State was going to go into that game and throw the hell out of the ball. That looked almost like an NFL team approach to a game, and he's definitely up there. But didn't you add in there the way he's avoiding pressure in the pocket, the smooth way he's handling the nuances of the game, which really set him apart, and then his accuracy is par excellence, and now everybody's catching on to that.
You know, we talk about his quick release, and this guy is very athletic. I mean, He is fun to watch the football. That ball that he dropped right there perfectly for Carnell Tate. Carnell was the only one who was going to catch it, just put it right in his hands. But the other thing that's impressed me, and the great ones have it, vision of the field when he's out there. And looking at the primary, looking at the secondary, he is looking the field over. And once again, he's just making his 7th start.
You know, he's been going to quarterback camps since he was probably 4 years old. I mean, I'm exaggerating. The bottom line is these young quarterbacks now aren't like they were 10 or 15 years ago. They come in fairly polished, fairly mature. And then Billy Fessler, the quarterback's coach, and Brian Hartline, and, of course, Ryan Day are on him all day, pardon the pun, about getting better, et cetera. Then he's throwing to the 2 best receivers as a tandem in college football, maybe the 2 best receivers in college football. But when you have that going for you, and then the ability to check down, don't do anything stupid, throw the ball to Max Clare, throw the ball to Bo Jackson out of the backfield or one of those backs out of the backfield, you know, you're just seeing this passing attack evolve right before your eyes. That's what's really cool about this.
No question about that, Tim. Right now, we're going to head out to Madison. Our Adam Kang and Joey Kaufman from the Columbus Dispatch join us. And Joey, let's talk about Carnell Tate. I mean, we talk a lot about Jeremiah. We'll talk about him in a minute. But Carnell, wow, this guy, he's going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, isn't he?
Yeah, I think in a year from now, people are probably going to be overthinking his draft stock. And you look at the way Emeka Bukas played as a rookie, playing second fiddle to Jeremiah Smith is no small thing in a college football. And he's right on with Jeremiah as one of the best receivers in college football. You think about that 33-yard touchdown catch he has where he high points the ball between 2 defenders, holds onto the ball, loses his helmet. Ryan Day called it an All-American catch. It's probably arguably a Fred Blitnikoff award-winning catches as well. 100%. So, I mean, he just everything he does, the body control, his footwork, maybe he doesn't always have the same flash or body size of Jeremiah Smith, but he just does everything so well and so polished from the route running to finishing the catch.
And, you know, Adam, you look at Jeremiah Smith, this kid, you know, very active in a quiet way, I guess, but, you know, he wants to score touchdowns, but no one is happier. You know, Ryan Day talked about this the other day. Jeremiah is so happy when his teammates, he just wants to win. That's the only, and he wants to repeat as a national champion.
I think that was one of the biggest maturing steps for Jeremiah Smith. I remember talking to him at the Big Ten Media Day, and he said, I've got to be okay with letting the other guys eat. He's done a very good job of that this year. Mind you, he had double-digit catches, so he can't really complain. They've still found a way to get him the ball. It just hasn't looked like it always did. It hasn't been the deep ball or the explosive play for him. It's been the 10-yard out route, and that works. That's tough against other teams, and you have to take what the defense gives you. That's been the mantra, and it's allowed for Carnell Tate to get one-on-one coverage, and when you have Carnell Tate in one-on-one coverage, you've got a problem. And I think that's been the biggest thing, is this young receiver learning that you're not going to have 4 touchdowns and 400 yards every single game.
Joey Kaufman, let's go to the other side of the ball. Is this the best defense in the country?
Statistically, it is for sure. I mean, they're averaging less than a touchdown per game, they are really just stifling. They're not always the flashiest defense. They don't put up a ton of sack numbers. They don't force a ton of turnovers. But I think that's actually okay. They just get stops on third down. They disguise looks for the quarterback that force them into bad throws. They're just so sound and solid and consistent. And this was the first time they've shut out a Big Ten team on the road since 2017. So this type of game where you just keep a home team in this conference off the scoreboard doesn't happen very often. And Wisconsin has its own issues on offense, its offensive line, its quarterback, but it's a team in the Big Ten and they go on the road and keep them and hold them to a goose egg is good.
May, back here in studio, that's the other thing. I think sometimes we take for granted these shutouts are not easy.
No, they're not easy.
Especially on the road. And, you know, it was really neat at the end of the game where they had a chance. I didn't think they'd kick a field goal, but they had a chance to get some points. And you saw with a lot of the third stringers out there how hard they were pushing. They wanted that shutout.
Yeah, I don't mean to add some castor oil to this, but also you got to remember Wisconsin got shut out the week before too, 37-0 by Iowa. So that was not even almost a competent offense they were going against. But the bottom line is they gave up no big play, except for that one over the middle of the tight end who caught the ball with his knees. How many times have you seen that, Dom? But other than that, and the fake punt where the guy just decided to take off and got 20 yards when he needed 19, which was crazy. They didn't let Wisconsin breathe in its own home, and that's what you got to do when you go on the road. Defense should travel, and we've seen this defense travel to Washington, to Illinois, and now to Wisconsin, and get the job done.
Adam, now comes the second bye week of the season. In my opinion, you couldn't have written a better schedule to date. Does this bye week, in your mind, come at a good time?
Honestly, when I look at their schedule, I think they could have had the bye week at any point because it hasn't panned out to what we thought it would be. I thought it was a great layout when Penn State was going to be the number 2 team in the country. I thought you get healthy, you get ready for this massive matchup. It's still going to be a big matchup. Brian Day said today they are still the same team that everyone thought preseason would win a national championship, albeit they don't have their starting quarterback in Drew Aller anymore. But I don't know. I think the Buckeyes have set up perfectly here. They got 7-0. They got this stretch run of 3 road games in 4 weeks that we really thought might cause a lot of headaches. And not only did they get it out of the way, they dominated in every game. There was no stress. None of their 3 road games was it in doubt in the second half. And I think that's anytime you can have that, that's what you want.
30 seconds for all you guys. We'll start with Joey and Adam. Any worries about Penn State?
I think Penn State's got a puncher's chance. They're a team that has a lot of talent. They're a team with 3 losses in the conference at this point, and they have nothing to lose. So based on that, I think you have to be a little more guarded until Michigan. This is the toughest team they'll face.
No.
That was just the answer I was looking for. I don't think so. How about you?
The worry is if you get a spark when you make big changes like this. But losing Drew Aller was as catastrophic to this team as losing James Franklin. I would think there are no severe worries about Penn State.
All right, guys, great stuff. Joey and Adam, you guys have a safe trip back. Tim May, thanks for checking in with us. We'll see you all next week.